Ms. Stevens is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Kazi, who's winning this competition?
Well, I think we're trying to correct for a lot of mistakes we made over the last 20 years. So I suppose right now, in many ways, we could argue that
We've got a trade deficit, but we still have the largest economy. We've got some innovation. We're not necessarily leading in technology areas we want to, but we've got openings with chips and science and the investment in manufacturing. Do you believe that the CCP's motivations are economic or are they political? What's driving them?
Well, fundamentally, it is absolutely political. It's using economic tools, financial tools for political ends, I would say.
And Mr. Shun, listening to your testimony, would you say that the United States motivations at the global stage are economic, or what do we deem our motivations to be?
I think ultimately the biggest prize of all competition of this is political.
It's political. And the question, I guess, becomes, as we inch towards the quarter 21st century mark, are free, open, democratic societies going to continue to lead the free world? And is that the marker of winning this competition? Is the dollar still the currency? Would you agree with that, Mr. Kazi?
I think, well, what I would say is that free and open societies can then lead to kind of the problem we have right now, where we say, look, it's free market capitalism for everybody, and you have a bunch of companies that go and relocate to China, and turns out that we have very serious and complicated supply chain dependencies that hurt us at the most critical moment, again, as seen during the pandemic. So just, there's no guarantee that free and open societies can necessarily just win. Again,
through laissez-faire economics. Now, Ms. Lazenberry, I deeply appreciate your robust testimony and your series of recommendations that came towards the end of your written testimony, and particularly how we can bring along our allies and utilizing different diplomatic channels to put into place some policies or guardrails or recommendations. And this isn't going to be presumptive. And you've rejected tonight this notion of decoupling, even presented, I believe, some skepticism around de-risking. And certainly an area of bipartisan agreement is, on this committee, from what I've discerned, is the United States doesn't need to replicate the CCP. We've got our own way of doing things. So is this better defined as tolerance? Do we have to move into a place of tolerance and bring alongside our allies to strengthen free market, democratic nations on the global stage vis-a-vis political motivations?
I think
you can answer yes or no, but
I mean, yes, we need some tolerance in order to give some time to us to make sure that these alliances are going to be effective.
Yeah.
But the flat out answer is we have to find resilience.
We've got to find
in
resilience
other ways. We cannot rely the way we are anymore. There's just too much at stake from most of the life-essential industries that were absolutely made clear to us during the COVID-19 pandemic.
What does resilience look like?
Resilience is a great word. How can we cherish our free and open democratic society, which is a diverse ecosystem? Diversity is what we know makes an incredibly rich ecosystem.
It might be supply chains. It might be lessening reliance, and certainly, coming from the industrial Midwest, I care a lot about that. But let me just conclude by talking to you directly, Mr. Chum. It is highly significant that you came here this evening and shared your testimony, a testimony that would never be heard in your native land. And I extend my heartfelt gratitude to you as a human being, as an entrepreneur, and as a father and a husband. And what happened to you and what happened to your beloved Whitney would never happen here. And I don't believe that you will see justice, and that's another deal, is that Democracy might not be perfect, but we do inch towards justice. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I yield back.